Hello, my name is Tommy Shaw, and here's on today's channel. What I'll be doing is going over personal finances, trying to get a interactive conversation. The more that people can ask questions and go directly to anything that you guys would like me to talk about, well, the faster we can have questions, the faster we can go into topics. I can go. What I want to do with this video is either get the feedback from you guys, or I'll be talking about what's going on in my life right now, what I'm investing in, what I'm looking at, and why I'm looking at certain points. I'm trying to find reversals in the market, and I'm also investing in stocks. I got some bonds. I invest in mutual funds, ETFs. Um, I'm also heavily invested in real estate. So that's a little bit about me. I used to be in the military, where I struggled and how I started investing. And the point of today's channel is to really get the feedback. That's the main goal right now, is to get that feedback, to try to understand where people are in their lives right now. And like if I get questions, or when I'll get the questions, what I'll do is I'll draw to simplify. I'm going to make it simple. Okay. When somebody asks a question, I'm not going to go into details on why the investment is a great investment, or unless the person wants me to talk about that. And I see that it depends on where we're at. Like, are we starting out? Like, the first steps you got to do is you always got to start with budgeting, saving, and it depends. Did your parents give you $1 million and you're starting out with $1 million? How do you protect that money? Because if you don't have any money, you're gonna have to save money or find ways to make money. Or you already have money, you're gonna have to protect that money. Like, there's different levels to understanding depending on where we're at in life. And like, when you're at the point of protecting it, the next step is learning how to protect it and how to make it work. Because protecting it is also protecting it against inflation, because inflation is there to eat away the value of your money. And if you're not careful, what's going to happen is that inflation is going to eat away the value of your money, and you always have to keep that in mind. So depending on where you're starting out in life, if you're starting out at, okay, I don't got any money, I don't know where to start, well, okay, this channel is also for you. If you're already making money and you want to protect it, how do you protect it and how do you invest it? This video is also for you. It's also for anybody that just wants to know what's going on and to get another perspective. Because sometimes people tell us something, but if we didn't have time to analyze the information, it's going to be hard for us to get a real view of what's going on in the world right now. And you have to remember, these are my opinions. This does not mean that it's true or anything like that, because an opinion is just an opinion. Only time will tell if I'm right or wrong. Okay. So that's pretty much what the video is about. And like, sometimes I'll go on the internet trying to find some information that I can share and that I think it'd be useful. And remember, ask questions. The more you ask questions, the more you'll get the information that you want. Because remember, we all have a goal in life, unless you don't have one. But if you don't have one, I would really recommend that you find yourself a goal that you can work towards too. Okay. So this is a live video. There's no editing, there's no script. There's just me telling you exactly what I'm thinking and what I'm doing, and why I'm doing what I'm doing, and why is it creating success in my life. Okay. Because people, when they don't know me or they learn to know me, they're always like, you're going to be the next CEO. People see me as a CEO. Okay. Maybe that's because I am a CEO of my own business. I'm in charge of my own business. So I think the presence that I bring at a table or somewhere, people feel it and people see me as a leader because I need to be in control. I need to take actions. I need to know where I'm going. A lot of people want to be, they want themselves to be told what to do. Okay. And I respect that. And I love doing that part because I know the overall picture. Like what I've noticed is when I work with people, people see me and they ask me, what is the next step? Okay. What is the next step that we need to do? I find it easy to see the big picture. A lot of people don't see the big picture, but they're really good at, okay, this needs to be done. There's a section in the report that needs to be done. And they're really good at taking that information and transforming it. And if I tell them do this, do that for that reason, they're really good at implementing information that they're really good followers. So everybody has something that they're good at. And it's like sometimes it's better to be number two because when you're number two and you're in front, you have somebody that has this high achiever and he's somebody that knows where he's going. It's all right to be a number two. It's all right to leech onto that person and say, okay, I am going to follow this person because he's making me advance a lot quicker. And remember, everybody has their speed of learning. So if you're somebody that learns very quickly, you can go faster in life with somebody that has already done those results. Like for me, I learned very quickly, either through other people or learning through books or learning through experience. I learned very quickly because I am highly focused in achieving whatever I want to achieve. So that's what the point was the first step. You need to determine a goal. What is your goal in life? What is like, don't worry about, I don't know what my goal is or my passion is. Don't worry about that. Just look at what you naturally do that creates value. Look at it in that way. What do you do that naturally creates value? Like sometimes it could be learning finances. Sometimes it could be how to manage a company or how to manage people, or maybe you have something that no other people have. So just learn to lean into that. Like for me, it was natural to manage money. I was excellent at managing money, but I didn't know that I was excellent until I saw other people and I compared myself and I saw, oh shit, I'm a lot better at managing money than most people. Okay. So you have those talents and you can only know those talents by doing something that you're not good at. Okay. That's where you see, okay, you're doing something and it's not natural to you. That shows you what is natural to you. Because if you're doing something that's not natural, it's showing you what is natural, because it's showing you that you're not that person. Like, let's say you're trying to learn, I don't know, you're doing French or you're doing English and your writing skills are not that good. It's telling you, you have instant feedback that life is telling you this is not your avenue. Unless you have it to heart to become good in that section, well, it's not something that you should focus on. You should focus on what you do the most that creates the most value for other people. Like for me, I find it easy to see when I go into a business, I just look at how it's operating and I could see that the director is not focused on making money. He's focused everywhere. He's looking at, he's making people do great reports. Well, those people are not working on selling. If your sales team are working on how to reduce cost inside the business, what you're essentially doing is that you're reducing the ability of yourself making, like, your salespeople should be focused on selling. That's what they're good at. They're not good at operating and cutting back expenses. That's not their job. Okay. And you as an entrepreneur, you're good at creating the business, or maybe you're good hands-on. Hire somebody that's going to do the operation where it's better than you. Put yourself in the best position inside the company to run it at full speed. Okay. So my philosophy is a lot about financial independence, because I love independence. The reason why I love it is because it gives you freedom to work on what you're passionate about. If you're worrying about money, the problem with that is that you're not focusing on creating value. You're focusing on yourself. You're focusing on, how am I going to survive? How am I going to make things work? How am I going to, like, you're only worrying about yourself. You're not saying, how can I create more value in other people's life? Because when you're not thinking about money, you're thinking about, I want to become better. And at a certain point, after you bought everything you want to buy, it doesn't procure happiness. What procures happiness is being of service to other people. When you know that you really made a difference in somebody's life, that makes you happy. Okay, be focused on other people. Be focused on creating value for other people. And I would really recommend that people learn how to increase their social skills, because other people, when you bond to other people, this makes it a lot easier for you to have success. Because when you're focusing on helping other people, and your ability to be able to connect with other people, that's what's going to give you an edge. Okay, so that's why they say it's not who you are, it's who you know. Okay, yeah, it is about who you are. Okay, it's about who you are and who you know. But if you're a pleasing person, people will want to know who you are. And some people are just intriguing. I want to know about this person. Who is this person? This person looks freaking awesome. So I want to know about this person. I want to talk to him. I want to party with this person. And you start to notice, oh my God, this is an incredible person. This is not an average person. This is a person that loves to learn, loves to read, loves to share his knowledge. And the best way to learn something is by sharing the knowledge that you already have inside of you. And you can give it to other people, and you can make their lives better, because everybody knows the faults of everybody. Everybody knows, okay, he has this problem, that problem, but not a lot of people can see the good in other people. And I find it better to see good in other people and to try to extract that and make it a better use for that person, and not be scared that somebody's going to surpass you one day. Because if you're a good leader, you're going to make everybody good. Everybody around you is going to become better because you're being honest, and everybody appreciates your honesty. The day you're trying to take something from somebody else, that's the day you're going to lose something. Okay, don't take something that doesn't belong to you. So, all right, that's a little bit about the mindset. Okay, the mindset around, there's a lot to success. It's not a simple process. It's not something that's easy, having success. Success requires you to really be highly focused on what you want. And you're gonna have to learn a lot of things. Like, you're gonna have to learn about finance, management, how to deal with people, how to accounting works. You're gonna have to find a team to help you grow that business, a sales team, marketing, how market works. There's a lot of things, like in Rich Dad Poor Dad, he talks about essentially what you need to know. But essentially what he's doing, it's a course, a bachelor in finance. That's what I have. And until I understood that if you love money, a bachelor in finance is the way to go, because we're talking about money all day long. When they say they don't teach this in school, yes, they do teach that in school. Okay, stop saying that. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I hear that information and I'm like, what? That's what we learn in school. We're talking about investing. We're talking about buying assets that generate. What else would we be learning? How would we figure out if a business is profitable or not? Like, who the hell would learn it? That doesn't make any sense. Think about it, okay? Somebody has to learn about investing to make opportunities, because if we don't know how to value a business through its cash flow, how are we going to figure out if that's worth investing in? Yes, we do mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Nobody can know exactly how a business is going to run in the future. But if we're all pessimistic people, no business is going to be created. We have to take that risk, and it's calculated in our numbers. Like, if a lot of companies are going bankrupt, well, the risk is going to be higher, so less projects are going to be accepted. And if the probability of a business succeeding, well, the less demanding the investors will be, and it will make a business profitable. You have to remember that it's always in the context of, is it easy to start a business or is it hard to start a business? And everything will become equilibrated in the system, in the environment that the business is being created. So yes, you learn about money in school, okay? Never say that you don't learn about money in school, because that doesn't make any sense. We do learn money in school. Just go in the right degree. If you're going in and going to a sector, you want to be a doctor, of course you're not going to learn about money. That has nothing to do with money. You're not going to go, you'll be good at selling your services, but you won't be good at finding. Maybe you will be good, because doctors are very smart. Sometimes they have the ability to learn many things, but usually when you're highly specialized, you learn only about the domain you're in, and they're going to hire people like me to manage their money, because we are able to study the market, and we've made a lot of mistakes, and we are able to prevent those mistakes in the future. Okay, so essentially that's what I was talking about. I was going in that direction. And at any given moment, anybody that wants to ask a question, I'm live right now. I'm live on the computer. So you can ask a question right now, and I'll be able to answer the questions. All right. So when we're talking about wealth, we always have to understand that wealth is something that is sustainable. Something that keeps on putting money in your pocket throughout years. Like when you're planting a tree, okay? A tree can become wealth. They say money doesn't grow on tree. It does grow on tree, because a tree adds value every year. It gains value, maybe 8% per year, more value, and it grows at exponential growth, and then it dies at an exponential growth, but an inverse exponential growth, okay? So it's like a cube, okay? So the reason why I'm saying this is that if you plant 100 trees a year, okay, and you have this big land, and every year you put in 100 trees, okay, oak trees, that's worth a lot of money. After 20 years, your wealth will grow on its own, and it's growing from the beginning. But if every year you plant 100 trees, after a while, the money that the trees are adding in value will create financial freedom. So you have to think like that. You have to think in the long run, something that is sustainable for 15, 20, 100 years, because land and trees can last to 100, depending on the kind of trees you're planting. But I'm doing a metaphor for you to understand the difference between making money, investing, and thinking like somebody that creates value. Because when you have land adds value every year, because it's become scarce. And the other factor of having land is that it creates value, because trees on it can grow, and then one day you can transform that into agriculture, and then one day it can become residential, and then one day it can become commercial. So as you can see, throughout the process of the land, it changes value depending on how highly demanded it is. If it becomes something that a lot of people pass in front of, it's going to become commercial or industrial, because a lot of money or energy is flowing, and money is energy. So if a lot of energy flows, there's a good chance you can catch some of that energy. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. I didn't go a little bit too much in space right there. I do that sometimes because I like to see all the little things in life, how they're connected, and how nothing isn't connected. Everything is connected. There's a reason for everything that you do. Sometimes you don't understand why you're doing it, but in time you will understand it. It's always by looking back that we can piece the puzzles together. But when we're in the process, it's hard to get that knowledge and education, and it's hard to see and connect the dots. Okay, just have patience and just have faith that everything happens for a reason. A little drink of coffee right there. All right, so there are steps. Okay, there are steps to accumulating wealth, and it depends on where you are in those steps. I talked in the video this morning where I was talking about, like, you need to learn with the first step, budgeting. But at the same time, for me, when I started out in my life, when I was 19 years old, I was working with farmers 88 hours a week. And then I was sick and tired of working there. I couldn't stand my job. I hated it. Okay. But the boss was a really good person. Okay. He was a multimillionaire and he was a great person. He always listened to me and he always loved my stories. Like every time he come up to me, like, yeah, did you meet a new girl? Blah, blah, blah. And like, you always talking to me in this fashion because he just loved my stories. I always had something good to say. So at one point, he tells me, like, at one point I look on the side and I couldn't even see the person that was standing beside me because there was so much dust in the air. And I was like, oh no, man, I can't do this anymore. I can't work here anymore. And that's where it hit me. I need to become rich. So that's why I keep saying that the first step to becoming rich is that you need to have that desire. You need to have that goal. And then the second step is budgeting, because if you don't have that goal, you won't be able to sustain. Yeah. So, and that's why I keep saying, like, just keep going. You have that first thing, keep that goal, and then the third step is learning how to manage, how to invest, how to keep that money, how to protect it, and just keep on going. All right. So those are essentially the steps that I'm talking about. I know a lot of people when they're starting out, maybe it just seems like anybody can add information to where I am right now, okay? The feedback that you're giving me right now and you're looking at and you're like, okay, I love this information, I want to know more, just let me know. Just let me know what's going on in your life, your struggles, anything that could give me information. It's going to help me understand where you guys are at right now. Okay. So essentially, the market today was pretty positive. Like, I woke up, it's just a little side note to, I was looking at the oil markets. It's something that, for me, I am a little bit bullish on. Maybe I'm too bullish. A lot of people tell me that to see opportunities that come up in your life. And if you're able to see all that information, you'll be able to see what's going on. And that's what I'm talking about. I really want to put your numbers and your life. Sorry about that. I was reading at the same time. Some people are looking at my videos and they're leaving comments. And a lot of people are saying, wow, I really love the way, you explain your numbers. And that's what I want to do. I really want to show that everything is possible for somebody that believes and wants to keep going and investing, and just have faith. Just have faith that everything happens for a reason, and that one day you'll understand. Okay, so what can I say that can make a difference in your life? What can I say that has the potential? Like, first of all, if you haven't read my book, I would recommend you guys reading The Millionaire's Secret Knowledge, because it's like $18. You can buy it on directly on Kindle for, like, I don't know, I think it's $6. So it's a cheap book, and it's just something that mind habits that can make a difference in your life. And like, I strongly believe that everything that I put in that book has to do the habits that you need to achieve success. And that book took me 5 years to write, because it was everything that I was living every single day, and that I saw patterns, and I was like, yeah, that could be added in my book. And like, at first, when you're writing a book, that was one of my life goals, was to write a book. And I didn't even know how to get started. Like, I didn't know how to write a book. It was a long process. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know how to make the chapters, and I didn't even know anything, the size of the book that I wanted. And then I started to notice when I was reading book, what kind of books did I like? What were the style of books that I love? And I said, I'm gonna work with that. I'm gonna work with that process so it can make it possible for me to create something. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. That's how I created. What I did is I saw something that was successful and I mimicked that. A lot of people are trying to find reinvent the wheel. That makes me go crazy. Why are you trying to invent the wheel? Reinvent the wheel. It already exists. Okay? Don't try to reinvent the wheel. If you see somebody that's succeeding, do exactly like that person. Talk exactly the same way or do something a little bit different, but don't try to reinvent the wheel. If you see a restaurant that's working, buy it or do exactly the same thing in another city. Just try to see that sometimes you don't really need to try many things to get successful, okay? Because once you understand that there are some process that work already, when you already know that, you don't have to start again, okay? I just want to precise that information because if you can understand that information, it'll make it a lot easier for you to, because what I see is sometimes people, they start something and they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do right now. Well, it's easy. What are you passionate about? Like, you want to start a YouTube channel, talk about what you're passionate about. What did you learn throughout your process of living? Like, you went to pitfalls through your business. You have something to share. You have something to offer. Let's say you're just talking about a certain product. Well, you know that product better than everybody else because you tried many products and that's the only product that seems to work for you. And clients don't come back because they're satisfied with the product. They don't come back for you to fix it again because you did a really good job. So that makes it more profitable for your business because if you're doing something excellent, clients are not coming back saying, hey, I want to reduce the price. I don't like your product. I don't like what you're offering. So when you're doing something at an excellent level, you can share that knowledge with people. You can make other people's life better by sharing exactly what you know. So that's that for that. And remember, questions can be asked throughout the whole process. I really want to make this simple and I really want to answer questions to what people want to learn, what people want to see, and just share as much as possible the knowledge that I have acquired over the years. And if I can see, all right. I just want to look at the stock market, see what is going on. Almost noon here in Canada, Quebec, and the markets right now are pretty. This morning was a pretty good day. Like I love those kinds of day. It makes it easier for me to think long term, and sometimes it's just about getting those results a little bit of ahead of time. You're just like, some mornings you wake up, oh man, even though you have those results, you always have a day in your life where you're like, oh, I wish I had more results. You're always going to have that setback that prevents you from seeing all the results that you already had in your life. And it's always important to remember that you have already a lot of results. So be grateful for what you have. And at the same time, you have to be hungry to have more in your life. So yeah, exactly. Stock market is going pretty good. It's a lot better than it was. Oil is still rising. Crude oil, gold is going up. And there's a lot of news concerning a lot of Micron is going up. Tesla's at $400. Nvidia is going higher. I think the market's pretty bullish today, and it's Wall Street stays near record high. Has Mullen says trade pact to be signed. So I don't know if you guys are bullish or not, but are you thinking about just looking at what is going on in the market right now, or maybe you're just not really involved with it. Anyways, maybe that was boring. So I will go with another topic. Other reasons why I think it's very important. All right, I'll leave it at that. It's half an hour. I've been half an hour in the video. I'm gonna end this video with this. I might come back today because I'm testing many theories. I want to understand, and I really want people to get involved in the conversation. So it would be really helpful if people can comment and tell me a little bit, okay, yeah, we like that story, we like where you're heading when you're going in that direction. The more feedback I can have, the easier it will be for me to give exactly what you guys want. And that's that for today. So have a nice day.